YouTube. This is MegaCapitalG. That is my name. For those of you guys who don't know, this video is being posted on DubKDad1, the leader of the magnificent Team DKF. Thank you, DubKDad, so much. You might know DubKDad or his teammate Asian Persuasion. They are very big YouTube partners. By the way, congratulations on that top 8 with the quick draw deck that you just ran, and Asian Persuasion, he's got some tops, so they're really good duelists, really popular. Everybody knows them. Thank you so much, DubK, for letting me do this. I've been wanting to get down and talk about some competitive decks or the format itself, but before I could do that, I had to let the format somewhat define itself. Now, it has been known that the first Shonen Jump or YCS of a lot of events basically has kind of been fraudulent, as the winning deck generally absolutely bombs for the rest of the format. So I don't want to take too much away or put too much emphasis, but with that said, I'm going to go over a lot of the decks and just get my opinions on how I think they will do through the format in a little segment I like to call Stock Up, Stock Down, or actually ESPN Radio likes to call it that. So I'm going to go ahead and lay these decks out, and I'm going to tell you if I think their stock up, their stock is up, their stock is down, what you can expect out of the decks. Or in some cases, I might say the deck's going to be about the same as last format. Okay, guys, first deck we're going to talk about is Quick Draw, also known as Quick Draw Plants or Quick Draw Dandy Warrior. I definitely have to give this deck a stock up for a couple reasons. First, the deck didn't lose Dandelion. A lot of people thought Dandelion would go to restricted. In addition, the deck has gotten a boost from Black Rose Dragon, which is now at 3, going from 1. So now Debris Dragon becomes a lot more effective. You got a couple more powerful synchros, such as Scrap Dragon, which a lot of the decks are going to be using, because you can just drop Debris Dragon, synchro with a token with Dandelion, get 2 more synchros, and you can blow up any card your opponent plays or any card your opponent has on the field, and then just blow up like a token, or next turn a Dandelion. It makes really good combos. And the deck also, since it runs multiple pot of Avarices, can main deck Effect Veiler, which is really nice. So I definitely have to give stock up to Quick Draw. Second deck would be Black Wings, one of my personal favorite decks. Unfortunately, despite all the just ridiculous dominating it did in Japan, I have to give it stock down for the simple reason of a lot of people, well, in Japan, basically, here's what they were doing. They were basically running like 2 cards for Black Feathers and 3 pot dualities. Basically, you get to Black Whirlwind so fast, you just win the game basically just off Whirlwind pluses. Now Whirlwind's at 1. It's very susceptible to MST, which is now at 2. In addition, I think Blackwing is going to have a little bit of problem with the meta. Cards like Dark Soul, the deck kind of has problems with. Royal Oppression also went to 1. That hurts the deck. The deck has lost some speed. It's still good, no doubt, but it has to now main deck a lot of cards that it didn't before, like Delta Crow and whatnot. I think it's kind of slow. And then, in addition, a lot of its power plays have been kind of limited. So I give Blackwing stock down. Sabers, a lot of people expect me to give it stock up, considering Lazaro Bolito and Roy St. Clair just faced off in a X-Saber mirror match at the YCS Toronto. But I'm going to say Sabers are going to stay right about the same. I don't think they'll be the best deck. I think they'll definitely be in the tier 1 for the entire format. Now people are moving to somewhat unorthodox cards, stuff like Debris Dragon, because it works so beautifully with Dark Soul, and people aren't even main decking 3 Fall Troll anymore. But the deck just really has so many explosive plays. People are playing 2 and 3 copies of Trap Stun, which is just starting to be like a ridiculously good card. Basically, as you see, Full Helm Knight is basically the Airbellum this format, what basically Airbellum did last format, picking cards off on the hand. Now the deck's more based around control plays and just using Full Helm Knight with like Book of Moon and stuff like that to get pluses, and plus it really punishes your opponent for playing low defense monsters, stuff like tokens and whatnot. So I think Sabers will stay about the same. Light Sworn is getting a big stock up, mainly because the format. Cards like Monster Reborn and Dark really help the deck. Any card that clears the field for Lightsworn, such as like Torrential and Dark are going to be very good in the deck because it allows you to clear the field, to bait out removal so that your Judgments and your Wolves can get really big attacks through. Plus Chaos Sorcerer is at 2. I personally have been testing around with Twilight. It is an amazing deck right now. Definitely going to give a huge stock up to Lightsworn. I think Lightsworn might go back to tier 1 after being completely irrelevant. Machina's, despite the fact that Alex Van Sant just top forward with this, I'm going to give Machina's stock down. This is, I guess, I can't really apply this to gadgets because gadgets can be completely anti-meta. Mainly because so many decks right now are side decking 3 Cyber Dragon. You see a lot of, when the top 16 lists come out, you'll probably see a lot of people were side decking 2 Cyber Dragon, Sabers. I know when Infernity's going like the beatdown mode, they side these in. So it just really hurts the deck. They've only got 1 oppression, so it's a move that if they don't have bottomless, they kind of have a hard time stopping. You just summon Cyber, and you can basically just like clear the whole field with Chimera Dragon. So I'm not that big on this deck right now. Infernities, I think that they will stay the same. I think Infernities will border right around the tier 1 border, which is what they did last format. I actually, when I looked at the list, I made some premature I guess analysis on the deck. I really thought they would be dead, but they now have Street Patrol, which is kind of like an off the wall Mizuki for the deck. But the deck, a lot of people have dropped Beetle. It's basically, this deck has reinvented itself. I'm looking at some of the builds, like Matt Pedal's build from YCS Toronto, and it's really good actually. And then even more impressive might be the side deck, how the deck just completely kind of outside, it sides almost out of Infernity into just what they call beatdown mode, which is just a whole bunch of light beatdown. And Thunder King, Cyber Dragons, Chaos Sorcerers, it has so many just beat you over the head stuff. It's really hard to side against when they side that in. So I think Infernities will be really competitive this format, as long as you don't run into Glad Beast. And speaking of Glad Beast, the last deck of my discussion will definitely be Glad Beast. Stock up for these guys right here. Man, when they banned Heavy Storm, it suited Glad Beast so well. They can set as freely as they want. Unlike most decks, though, Glad Beast, since they can kind of free tag in and make Grizzards and stuff, they don't have to worry about too much about Trap Stun and just being wrecked by it, because they can also run Trap Stun, and they can hurt you under Cold Wave just as much as you can hurt them under Cold Wave. So, and then Chariot is just a card that always keeps Gladiator Beast viable. So I definitely have to give Glad's stock up right now, and that's why you see 4 Glads topped, and I think 3 out of the top 4 after Swiss were GB. So thank you, WK Dad and the entire team DKF. I did not put Herald of Perfection in here because, to be honest, I think the deck is going to be terrible this format. So that's all I've got to say. Please check out the videos on my channel. Thank you for watching, guys. The Capital G Show is brought to you in part by... Is everything going according to plan?
Yes, sir. We have now infiltrated 2 of the biggest Yugi 2 partner channels, MCO40 and Team DKF's WK Dad.
Excellent. Del Bolito is next. Let the invasion of G begin.